Okay, so today we're going to talk about a few more picks from February. I personally am still baffled by the amount that came out that month, considering it's the shortest month of the year and typically nothing comes out in February. I don't know, it usually doesn't start till March. But it was a lot of good stuff, so I guess I can't complain too much, and we're just gonna jump into it. We're just gonna go. Here we go. First one up is by Peter Milligan. He has done a whole bunch for DC and Marvel, let alone all of the independent stuff he's done throughout the year. So this is just what he's done lately, as of 2020, and it's called Tomorrow. Now I know looking at the cover of this, it might look like a teenage romance, but it's actually about family. So there's this kid, and he's a bit of a prodigy. He's kind of a genius, and the way his brain works kind of leaves him with some awkward social skills. He has been pretty much training for this day. He's got a gig to meet with these professors. He's super nervous. He is a perfectionist. He's really particular about things. He's terrified to go in and like pour his heart out and see how these people are going to judge him, but he figures since he's got his twin sister with him, everything will be totally fine, right? Day of, they're all packed and ready. His mom's waiting in the car. He tells his sister, like, come on, let's go, and she says she has to sit this one out. She's actually not feeling well, but she knows that he's gonna get it and that he's gonna do well at his gig and that his prodigy life has been building up to this and everything's gonna go smoothly, and what's the worst that could happen? So he goes to the gig, plays his whole song. He has like this moment of like achievement, of like absolute bliss, like everything in his life was like meant to be in this moment. And when he stops playing, he looks around the room and realizes everyone is dead. So there seems to be something going around, something to do with sound, and it's like killing people. Another part about this book that I really liked is you actually got to see how a doctor was handling all of this chaos, trying to predict what's going to happen next in this pandemic while trying to decide, well, do I save like the world or do I save my family? I have a feeling there's going to be a real big cast with this one, even though it's only 5 issues. And I really liked the cliffhanger that was in this one. And I have faith that this number 1 was good enough that I can just pick up the trade and not worry about if it's going to be consistent. This first book is only $3.99. It feels pretty thick for most single issues, and they actually give you a sneak peek to number 2. So reading number 1, I really liked where the cliffhanger ended. And getting a piece of number 2, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the trade and say that the trade, whether it be $20 to $25, will probably be worth it. Okay, so this next one I'm totally gonna butcher the title of. I'm not too sure on how you're supposed to say it. I'm terrible with names anyways, so just bear with me on this one, alright? So the next one that I'm gonna recommend is called Tartarus. Tartarus. Tartarus? Tartarus. 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 Yes. Us. Tartarus. Something like that. For this one, there was quite a few reasons why I picked it up. First of all, it is really thick. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a hole with how many pages that it has to like staple together. Like it almost can't confine it in just one issue with how big it is. And I was kind of blown away with a number 1 that wasn't like advertising that it was that big. It didn't say 80 pages or like a one and done or a one shot like some of them did. So that immediately grabbed me with how thick of a book it is. And for only $5.99, a lot of books this heavy are like closer to like 10 or 8 at least, but $5.99 for something like this, and I thought it was a one-shot, was not a bad deal. Number 2 reason I picked it up was this background here with the name and the back. It did look a little bit like tarot oriented, so I'm pretty excited to see where the series goes. There's even a chapter called As Above, So Below. And the last and final reason I looked at this thing and said I've gotta have it is somebody named Johnny Christmas was writing this, and I thought with a name like that, with a back like that, with how thick she is, this has to be good! This has to be a good book, right? He has worked on a book called Firebug. Jack Cole has worked on something called The Unsound, which I've heard really good things about, but I haven't picked up myself. But this is a good one. This is a really good series. Totally thought this was going to be a one-shot. I've seen number 2, and I think number 3's been out already. I don't think the Rona's taken her down yet, but I really liked this one. If you like James Stokoe or Mobius, you will definitely dig this guy. There's a lot of pretty, like, pinks, purples, pastel colors. The land or the city for it is really complicated and really, like, gritty but pretty and organized. I really like this artwork. I really like some of these panels, and they have a lot of like design pages or like blueprint pages that feel like they're from the future or feel like you're like reading it from a screen yourself, which is like Jonathan Hickman's big thing right now. He's had it in like East of West, he's got it in the new X-Men right now. Now, you're probably wondering what it's about, and it's a mix of like cyberpunk, sci-fi, magic. There's a whole like native political thing going on. There's a lot of layers to this one, and trying to explain it doesn't give it enough justice. You really have to experience it yourself. But essentially, there is a villain, a scoundrel so bad that society had to build this giant prison, this big old hole in the ground, bunch of guards, bunch of lasers, like they appointed someone specifically to make sure this person never gets out. So the villain totally just proves them wrong. She basically says, I've been here for you, I'm done sitting around, now's my people's chance. She breaks out of prison, she takes a good portion of the city with her, and she gets back with her tribe. There's this big old standoff, and a bit of a time jump, and I really liked it. Like I said, it's a little political, it's super badass, it's super psychedelic. You could probably use this first issue as a volume alone. Like, probably put 1 and 2 together, bam, you've got a full-size volume, because they give you a lot for $5.99. Next up, and I'm kind of bummed about this one. I don't know if I should give you the bad news first or after, but probably after. Let's talk about the good stuff. Next up is Nebula by Vita Alera. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. Someone correct me. Okay, whatever. But now, I've slowly been picking at like the Guardians stuff for a while. I really liked the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that came out, and so anytime there's a new series by them, I'll look their way, alright? I'm not ashamed. I'll check it out. I read the Gamora stuff and I liked it. I read some of the Thanos stuff and I liked it. And so I figured I would complete that family like trinity and read Nebula. A pretty good place to figure out why she has such an attitude problem, or maybe even just a good introduction to the character to begin with. And I really liked this one. She has worked on a book called The Wilds for Black Mask. Vita's also done a handful of other stuff for Marvel, and so I think they definitely put this in the right hands. I can say that for sure. It did a really good balance of like good bad Nebula, where it's all just self-interest still. It looks like she kind of like saves somebody, but then she says something really gory while doing something kind of cute, but then like, again, it's all self-interest. So she heard about this new creation And it's a program that essentially will give you the probability of things. It predicts the future by like, that's a threat by like 80%, or this is not a threat. Or she tracks down this creator, she demands that he puts the program into her, and immediately this voice just starts talking. Like I said, if you've seen the movie Overdrive, you pretty much get the start of this. This other person shows up and he's also here to stop the creator. He's just slightly too late. Nebula's already taken off with it, and that's where this issue ends. I thought it was a really great introduction. I really liked the artwork, the color for it. They had some really sweet layouts. Unfortunately, recently this one was declared canceled, but I think this #1 is gonna actually be worth something and be a collector's item. So if you see it, grab it and add it to your collection. Alright, so up next we have Death 2, The Army of Darkness. And this one, it's Ash meeting Tiny Ash meeting Dead Ash meeting Lady Ash meeting Dog Ash, which is a lot of Ash in like one book, okay? I get it, it's a lot. He's a big man, big personality. It's a lot to take on. But I really liked this one. But this new latest and greatest wasn't bad. It's clearly just an intro. It's a little thin for $3.99, if I'm honest. And there are quite a bit of pages that are like for Dynamite or like exclusive variant pages. Like there's a few that's are filler, and I personally, with that said, would just wait for the trade. $3.99, they're not the thickest. It's just little snippets, which isn't anything wrong, but when like series like this come out, and it is something that holds a lot of fans, and it is something that's good, I feel like just a book. I've already said it. I'm gonna say it every time I do one of these damn things. Just give me a volume. This one should have been one that goes straight to trade. But I get some people probably want issues. Some people have probably been collecting the issues since they even started doing the Evil Dead comics. I get it. But I would definitely wait for the trade on this. It was good. It was a good book. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very much the Army of Darkness. It's a little silly. It's a little witty. The artwork for it reminds me of like Darwin Cook and a little bit of the classic Walking Dead, like the first 4 or 5 issues of Walking Dead. It's really square, really boxy, and I think they went with that artwork purely based off of Campbell's chin. Like they saw the chin and they were like, yep, we're gonna do like a Cook square, really hard edges, like, and they nailed it. It totally suits it, and again, with it being Army of Darkness rather than Evil Dead, it's a little bit more lighthearted, a little goofier. It's got a bit of an animated, cartoony like feel to it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was a really good intro. It was a really nice story. I need more than this though. Just give me a book. Just give me a book. Just give me the book. Just give me a trade! I'll give you $20 for it! I won't even complain about the price because I know the story is going to be decent. Just give me the volume, because now we have COVID and now I'm worried that this isn't going to see past #1 or #2 and we might not even get a trade. Just do the trade. Just do a trade. And that's it. That's my do a trade speech for this round. So the author who did this, his name is Ryan Parrott. Something along those lines. Again, I'm sorry for butchering names. But he has actually done quite a few for the Go-Go Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So he's been around, he's already proven his worthiness. I did like this issue, I just need more than was given to me for $3.99. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Pick it up if you can. Hopefully we make it till we get a full book. But honestly, I might sit on this #1. I picked up this #1 as a reminder to pick up the trade later. but y'all can probably wait. And last, but certainly not least, it is Bang by Matt Kent. Now, I thought it was kind of funny that Keanu Reeves has a quote on the cover. Like, it's not too weird that number ones have, like, received praise prior to actually coming out, but it was really quite strange that, like, Keanu Reeves would be talking about this, right? Until I actually read it, and then realized, no, this is, like, heavily Keanu Reeves influenced. I would say it's a mix of John Wick and The Matrix. He himself says a great effed up blend of James Bond and Tintin, and yeah, it's a spy story. I really don't want to give too much away because you can't. This first issue is almost all reveal. Like, I can't be like, oh yeah, it's a dude and he does this thing and then this happens, because you have to see it for yourself. You have to read it for yourself, because I don't want to spoil this ride, because any information almost seems spoiling to it. Like I said, it's a spy story. There's a little bit of, like, sci-fi going on. Even that feels like too much info. Mysterious things the world has never seen before. Matt Kent has done quite a few things. That's why I think this is really going to be a fun ride. He's done Grass Kings, he has done Mind Management, he also writes Ether, which Ether is one of my favorites, and so I hope it's as weird and wacky, and once you realize what's going on and start looking at, like, details, like, I didn't take the back of this very seriously, and then once you figure out what's going on, it just is that much more exciting, because you realize, oh my god, they're paying attention, and they kind of leave clues for you along the way. Like I said, before you even get into this book, there's two things that should already tell you this isn't a typical book, or this isn't the book that you think you're picking up. I hope this one can make it through the Rona. I hope this one gets its long life that it is obviously going to need because of how complicated it's going to be. It's through Dark Horse. It is Matt Kent. Maybe if enough people pick up number one, we'll at least get 5 of these. I'm really excited to see where it goes, and I can definitely see this turning into a TV show or something. I'll say it. I can definitely see this being picked up for another source of media. So, grab it while you can, enjoy it while it lasts, and that's it. That's all I've got. So yeah, that was the end of February. Like I said, I know one of these guys got canceled already, which is tragic. I'm nervous to look up the rest. I'm nervous to see, and I guess kind of excited to see, like, who's gonna survive, see if any of these become, like, rarities. I really think that Nebula is gonna be something you're gonna need in your collection. I don't know. Same with Bang, and maybe tomorrow. Actually, all of them. Fuck it, all of them are something that everybody needs. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Looks like my job is done here for now. I'm gonna go read something somewhere. So yeah, I'll see you around.